И здравейте, здравейте всички от YouTube и добре дошли отново в ARGONAUTS епизод 2. Както помните, предния път играта се бъгна и трябваше да спрем точно тук на тренинга. Като говорихме с световия пеш, който говореше за Ариас. Нали? И по време на тренинга играта бъгна и не можеше да не изкара от катсина и да не покаже катсина. Така че предлагам да скъпнем този парт с тренинга, защото сами знаете какво става, бием се с тренинг, той покажа различни движения и зони и така. Както видяхте в предния епизод, за да не се бърне играта отново. Добре, как да стигна до нея другия такова. До другото помещение. Аха. Окей. Така.
Warden, sir, forgive us.
Просто скипваме частта с тренинга, пак казвам за втори път, защото се бъгва и да, няколко пъти пробвах, не става. И че и да. Накратко, понеже съм я превъртал, спойлерите са така, човека отива, нали, тренира ги там, показвам всичките движения с 3-4 и оня му казват добре, респект плюс и така. Разбирате.
We were speaking of matters that do not concern us.
What happened here concerns us all. You need not apologize. When we have certain knowledge of what took place, it will not be kept secret from the people.
You are as kind as you are wise, sir.
Добре, таз.
Sir, I'm sorry. We were just talking idly.
It's all right.
It's just that we've heard so many rumors about what happened. I don't know what to think.
The threat is over. The danger is past. As for who is responsible and why it happened, leave that to myself.
Of course, sir. It's a comfort to hear that from our warden.
Добре. Продължаваме нататък.
Hail, sire.
Guard Pathras, what troubles you?
Grief, my king, for your loss and for mine. My younger brother Timaeus was killed in the attack.
Timaeus was your brother? He leapt in front of me and took an assassin's arrow. He died in valor.
His ambition went beyond a noble death. Captain Idas had just promoted him to be the guard's standard bearer. And now this. How can I face my father with such news?
Timaeus died for me. It's my responsibility to tell your father.
You'd do that for me? Speak to my father, Mnason, at his farm?
Yes, but there is something you must do. Guard Pathras. See that the spear of the Yulkin standard bearer is sent to your father in honor of Timaeus' sacrifice.
Such an honor would no doubt ease his suffering. My thanks to you, King Jeyson.
Oh yeah.
No stone will ever capture your beauty.
Perhaps I should do the same as a show of humility. Servant!
You were saying,
Yes,
my condolences on your loss.
indeed.
I thank you both.
We've heard a rumor that the assassin, may he rot in Tartarus, was a black tongue.
Certainly that isn't true.
Captain Idas is finishing his investigation. We'll know more then.
The black tongues haven't been seen in a decade. King Lycomedes destroyed them.
It must be a mistake.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me.
The gods must be propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger.
Okay.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, King Trion. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, Father.
I see you've met young Jeyson.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jeyson, word of advice. If I know my daughter, you're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
Добре, чей са. Там имаше една врата. Или се намираме на мапа? Там имаше една врата. Тук така. Тук тренинг рума. Така. Тук е с малката тераска. Значи, кой искаш да ме кажеш, че през някои от тия врати можеш да стигнеш до другите. Интересно. Ще видим кой има насам. Ще се качим на втория етаж, после ще следим.
A fire burned on Mycenae, fierce and strong and bright. King Jeyson, I am Antiphon, royal poet. May Hermes guide your path in these dark times. When I have felt the sting of loss, my devotion to the messenger has always been a comfort.
What poem are you working on now, Antiphon?
Ah, yes. I've been composing an elegiac verse to honor the memory of Princess Alcime. Perhaps the king would be willing to assist me?
What sort of help do you need?
I'm trying to find a worthy start. Which of her many qualities do you think I should treat first?
She did have many. But I would begin with her
Beauty.
beauty. All who looked upon her knew of that.
Very well. Let's see. A flower grew on Mycenae, its beauty plain to see. But once transplanted on a foreign shore, its beauty withered, and it was no more. That flower's name was Alcime, our queen we sing to thee. It's a start at least. To honor her, much work must be done.
If you seek to honor all her virtues, you have a very long poem ahead of you. You said before that Hermes brings you comfort in dark times. How so?
We often see Lord Hermes as the most light-hearted of the Olympians, a trickster, a storyteller, a rogue. But he is also the spirit guide. When I have lost a loved one, it helps to remember they pass to Hermes' care.
It seems I find followers of Hermes in more professions than any other of the Olympians.
Poets and athletes, merchants and thieves, travelers and shepherds, Hermes watches over all of these. Then there are his more official duties. Messenger of the gods, lord of the four winds, guide to the spirits of the fallen, keeper of lore. And he also inspires the placing of Herms, of course.
Herms. The stones that mark the boundaries of different places.
Yes, those are Herms, but there are other types. Some herms simply mark the site of important or historical events. The followers of Hermes place these markers to keep a record of the deeds of men.
I imagine Hermes' virtues help you with your poems.
Without them, I could scarcely call myself a poet. Followers of Hermes place wit above all other qualities. As we like to say, strength wanes and beauty fades, but only wit grows day by day. We also value agility of mind and body. It's said the best poets and the best swordsmen all pray to Hermes for his blessings. Diverse company indeed.
I leave you to your work.
An honor, sir. Its beauty withered, and it was no more.
Между другото, предния път, като превъртах играта, не идвах насам сякаш. Сякаш.
Jейсън, it's ill fortune to see me the night before our wedding.
It is ill fortune not to see you any night or any day.
I'm told Argos' ship is almost ready for us. Where will we go first?
Alsume, I have sworn to watch over Iolcus.
I know, Warden. You have your duty. Fortunately, Iolcus is so perfect I could stay here forever. Now, King Jейсъn, this humble princess of Mycenae is going to retire. And she does not expect to see you again until such time as you are ready to wed her.
Then I will see you tomorrow. It will be the best day of my life.
The best night, too, I hope.
Is something the matter, Jейсъn?
No, it's nothing.
I can feel that villain's traces here. Sir, Hercules, those damn Ionians came through here like a bull in a pottery works.
They are not known for their subtlety.
Yes. Would that it was only the palace they destroyed. Carry on.
Да, предния път определено додал така.
A torch of courage, a flame.
Ja. Verschieden.
King Jейсъn.
Elpis, I didn't know you were among the injured.
Oh, it was nothing. I'm recovered mostly. It's just my poor parents.
What do you mean?
My parents don't know what happened to me, nor do I want them to. They're old and in ill health. Why let them worry? Could you tell them I'm well? That I've just been too busy to see them?
Of course. Why burden them?
I knew you'd understand.
Rest now, Elpis. I'll speak to your parents.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
Damn, son. Още един cutscene.
He was a great man. I am sorry, Jейсъn.
He's with my mother now, in Elysium. He lived a life of honor.
My father was very upset when he heard the news. Said that Greece had lost a great king. I agree with him, but I also think Greece has gained a great king. You outrank me now, king, Jayson. I don't know if I like it.
Alcime, marry me.
What?
Before I knew what love was, I loved you. Every second I look at you, I love you more. Marry me, Alcime.
Yes, Jayson. With all my heart. Yes.
I will find a way. Come.
Кой има тук? Добре, тук още не е рано да ходим, доколкото знам.
I heard he fought like a lion.
The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
Така, сега проверяваме тук, отиваме преди чичото. Да, тук вече бяхме. Идем нататък. Сега някой има чичото и ще трябва да ходим, доколкото знам, доколкото виждам, трябва да ходим и тук насам. Не.
Hail, King Jayson.
Captain Idis, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jayson. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a black tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jayson, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians, that's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
Idis, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idus? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well, it's time for me to step down, Jeyson. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus, you've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
I trust your judgment, Idus. You know the men better than anyone. Make your choice, and I'll approve it.
As you wish. I've already called for the men. Ah, here they are now. Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon. You men all fought with distinction and have served Iolcus well. But only one of you may be called to serve as captain. Lieutenant Ivarius, step forward.
Yes, sir.
Iolcus calls you to duty. Will you captain her guard?
With all my heart, sir.
Avarius, I know you to be a good soldier and an honest man. Follow Idus for a month's time, and then call yourself captain. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
I am honored, sir.
Dismissed.
I thank you, Jeyson. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Idus.
As you say, Jeyson.
Nephew, what news?
Nothing yet. There's a disturbance in the village I must see to, and I must still speak with Argos.
When I have a moment, I will see what I can find about the location of Delphi.
Окей. И така отивам наистина към селото. След всички тези неща. Оие. Излезем от Иолкуса двореца.
Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the kingdom of Iolcus.
Чекай сега имам мапа. Значи насам. Така. Така. И така. Окей. Много второстепенни квестове имаме, но какво да се правим? Ще ги изпълним. Ще видите наистина пълно плейтро на играта с всичките работи. Понеже бях гледал един геймове, поне и беше само сторито и тия малките неща бяха...
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Окей, Херкулес, бяха изключени от цялата работа. И така.
Hail, sir. There's reports of trouble in the village. Some foreign warrior demanding to see you.
I'll see to it. Thank you.
Welcome, King Jeyson. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
King and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would observe the marks the enemy soldier had made to interpret their exact intent. Only then would I decide my next course of action.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Of what shall we speak of next?
Let's speak of my fellow men.
You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I'd recognize that I benefit at his expense. He serves as a buffer between my sheep and the wolves. I would suggest that we work together to solve the problem.
I feel the sway of the constellation Libra, the scales, in your answer. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would let him keep all the money. He's my friend and he has need. The temple be damned.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Lupus, the wolf, in your response. Now we have only the matter of family to discuss. Two suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
Това е малко тъв. Малко трудно е така. Давай, не
I
един два.
refuse to let my daughter marry either man, and so avoid both fates.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Centaurus, the centaur.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
In fulfilling your duties, you believe that reason and sound thinking must be the basis of all decisions. In society, the common good is the highest goal. You believe people should work together to solve their collective problems. The bonds of friendship run deep with you. For friends in need, there is nothing you wouldn't do. You have a strong bond with family. You do not act independently of your family, but collectively, together. You are guided equally by the constellations. There is a balance to your fortune. Wherever your path leads, you will take measured steps. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you.
Apollo.
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order, all of these are noble things.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Here Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given.
На мапа да видим къде трябва да ходим. Окей. Да се празна. се празна. Празна.
Here was born Amphinome, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. My mother. A fine queen indeed.
Интересно как го каза по два пъти две изречения, няма проблеми. Нормално е за игра на тия години, между другото. Добре, къде трябва да ходим, бе? What the fuck? Добре, значи трябва първо да отидем казино. Да, първо трябва да отидем казино.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence. King Jeyson himself! It only took you all day.
Watch yourself, Zeno. This isn't Thessaloniki.
Don't I know it? On Thessaloniki, we wouldn't allow our guests to be murdered by some mercenary scum.
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough. No, not by a long way. King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute. Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
My guards fought valiantly to save all those who could be saved. Your brother's death was a tragedy, and I grieve his passing. But I will not compound that tragedy by paying you off and sending innocent girls to you.
You tell him, King Jeyson. I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demands, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
If there is no other way to satisfy you, then let us settle this between us.
I'm with Jeyson.
Then consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it.
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake.
Boo!
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jeyson of Iolcus dies today! Kill them!
А где? На нахуй.
Finish it, you Iolcan dog!
Няма да го убивам.
Take your brother home, Zeno.
I won't forget this, Jeyson.
Leave да ми, да го вземем ли меса или? Или не трябва.
Leave the mace.
What?
Your stake. Do you forget?
Bah! A curse on Iolcus!
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain. It'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Добре.
Be careful, King Jeyson. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
And what she looked like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Iolcan woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat. That's enough of you.
Janula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Zeno man was yelling up a storm and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked like she was listening for something. All of a sudden, she pricks up and she was off like a bolt toward the crypt of kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to.
Окей. Аз предлагам да приключим този епизод тук, понеже станаха 44 минути. И ще се видим в следващата серия. Абонирайте се, харесвайте видеята. И ако искате някакво следващо плейтро, коментирайте и го правим. Така че довиждане от мен и до нови срещи в следващия епизод.